Fine. So, welcome everyone. Welcome to the first live podcast of New Era Bonds. And today we have a very special guest, Mr. Tarun Telang. And today with him, we'll be discussing a lot of practical things working in IT profession. So, how to crack good roles in startups, how to crack big giants, and the today's more emphasis will be on the practical problems or the practical solutions and approach and mindsets which you will not find in any textbook or courses, but it's due to personal experience. Also, in the second section, we'll be touching on what's intellectual properties, how we can create courses and books. So that's the power of the new era coming. So welcome, Tarun. Welcome to our first live podcast.
Thank you very much, Kriti, for the wonderful introduction. And I am also very much grateful that you have invited me to this podcast. I'm also sharing this podcast in my YouTube channel, which is for, again, techies who are looking to crack big tech companies or who are eager to learn various technologies.
Perfect, perfect. So, can you first introduce Tarun yourself to the viewers, like telling your extensive experience and different things you are doing?
Yes. So I'm a software engineering leader with the 20 plus years of experience. I've worked in some of the big tech companies like Microsoft, SAP, Oracle, BlackBerry. These are some of the few ones. And I have worked across continents. I've worked in Canada, I've worked in Europe, Germany, and I've worked in Bangalore and Hyderabad. So I have seen people, uh, graduates at various levels, software engineers with less experience who are freshers or with higher experience at director level. And I have been mentoring a lot of them. I've mentored around 10,000 students and helped them crack these top tech companies or choose their career path and build a career roadmap for them. So this is about my professional career, and I'm also the author of various technical books. I've written various books on Java, microservices, and various new trending technologies, which are whether related to microservices, cloud native development, or about various DevOps streams. So I have been writing blogs, articles throughout my career, have been presenting in technical conferences, and have now also consolidated all these experiences and lessons learned in my 20 years of experience in these books. I also enjoy writing and sharing my knowledge, and that is also one of the best way to learn. So this is a brief introduction about myself.
Perfect. So quite an extensive experience. And one of the beautiful thing you have shared is like sharing knowledge is also a best way to learn. So we'll be digging more on it on our second section. But when I was hearing your introduction, Tarun, like you have worked in different setups, like from startups to big giants. So what's the first difference you can say, which is of mindset or working culture when you compare like working in startups and working in big tech companies?
Yes, in startups, moving fast is important because you are building things from scratch and you have to roll out the product, various features to market as early as possible. So here the speed is more important. Faster you are, better you will excel in your career. So
Mhm.
that's the way it works in startups. But in stable companies, big companies like Microsoft, they have already a lot of suite of products. Here, what matters is thoroughness, attention to detail, and in startup, you will be building things. You will be creating new software applications. You will get a lot of learning opportunity into various streams. So you will be working in a broader range of topics in startups, where in big companies you have to focus, you have to master in one area and deep dive into it, and you have to spend it, optimize it, and troubleshooting and fixing existing solution is considered more valuable there.
Hmm.
So that's the
Perfect.
basic difference between working in startups and working in big companies. But from the preparation aspect, if you want to crack interviews in these companies, the preparation is more or less similar.
Similar. Okay.
Yes,
So when you
definitely
were
your cultural fitment is one important thing. So when you go for a startup, they will see you and assess you that will you be able to work in unstructured environment where there are less processes. And in big companies, no, you have to be more disciplined. You have to work in a various no you have to work in a well settled process, so that is more important. So from the behavioral aspect there is difference, but from the technical aspect there is no difference.
Hmm. So one thought came in my mind when you were saying that in startups we have to wear different hats, and in big giants we'll be working on like broader topic of the same domain, something like that. So this show is also for career aspirants like graduates and students who want to join the IT workforce. So what you suggest, like if they want to work in startups, so is there anything different they have to build and any different skills which they have to concentrate, or like building the skills is almost same for both, or they have to concentrate more on their personal branding for startups? Or what's your insight on this, that if a student is going forward and wants to crack a startup, then what different profile he has to create?
Yes, so for startups, definitely no, this is valid for even big tech companies. As a fresher, there is no not too much of expectation. So what is expected out of a fresher is that he is good at programming. So if you are a software engineer, you are applying for software engineering role, so you should understand the fundamentals of computer programming, which could be in any language, whether it's Python, Java, JavaScript, C Sharp. So any language is good. The other part is you have to also, it's if you are applying for say AI/ML positions. Now this is also very popular. So there are three streams. So first thing is you should choose which is the right stream where you should apply. So first is software engineering. Already I mentioned what is expected. So you have to be a good programmer. Second thing is AI/ML. In AI/ML, you should have understanding of machine language, machine learning, and various AI stack. And nowadays, Python is always having an edge with respect to AI. So this is some additions. Definitely, if you are an AI/ML engineer, you also have to be having good programming skills. So this is about AI/ML positions. Then there are positions which are into data science. In data science, again, Python is important and programming language is important, and you should be able to build tools which can analyze data. You should be good in writing queries, and you should be good in database design. You should be able to model the data. So these are slight differences in the skills which are required. But for freshers, fundamentals are more important, and they are absolutely same, whether it is a big company or a small startup.
Mhm. Perfect. So, Tarun, like my co-host has also joined, and I'm just adding her as well. So, hi Ankita, welcome to our first live podcast.
Hello, hi Tarun. Hello, hi Kriti.
Hi, so
Hi.
glad
So
to
we
see you.
just
And
Same here.
yeah,
Nice to see you. Thank you
great.
for coming to our live podcast.
Yes.
So
Awesome.
we just started 10 minutes ago, and we were just discussing about his, experience. And we started up with a question where how students can prepare if they are targeting startups or tech giants. Now, Tarun, let's discuss about professionals, okay, who are already in IT, and then they want to skill up, they want to switch to a better company, or you can say, the giants. So, what special preparation they have to do with their current jobs?
Okay, great. So now we discussed about the freshers, and I spoke about computer skills, which was programming or which was querying or AI/ML tech stack, whichever is the role, suitable role. Now, as your experience grows, now your breadth of knowledge has to increase. And as a fresher, you need fundamentals, and I would like to include one more thing. In fundamentals, mathematical skills are also important. Some amount of mathematics, because whatever algorithm you will be writing, you have to analyze it in terms of performance and memory optimization. So you should have good mathematical aptitude. You should also be able to solve simple mathematical problems. That does not mean you have to know very complex or advanced mathematics. You don't need to know integration, differentiation. But what is important, you should be able to know, you should know statistics, you should know algebra a little bit, because computer science programming is all about algebra, combinations, permutation. So these are some of the concepts. Maybe I will share a list of uh, mathematical topics which are important in a kind of a document later, so you viewers can download it. You may put this in description, and then they can download it later from this podcast. And yes, other than mathematical topic, they also need to know other computer science topics like operating system, networking, and distributed systems. Now, as the experience grows, uh, individuals are expected to have more thorough knowledge, and these knowledge should be backed by their real world problem solving experience. So now, with experience, people should be able to relate these concepts, and they should be able to explain how they have used these concepts in real world scenarios. So that is what required. So here, in addition to technical skills, which is your programming, mathematical fundamentals, as well as other topics like operating system, networking, and distributed system, various computer science fundamentals. So again, maybe I'll share a list of these topics again in a separate document, which people can download later, because there are many topics. So can't we means we can't put them all. We can't list them out. People will forget. So other than these, your communication skills becomes important, because when you are explaining the concepts and how you have applied these concepts into real world scenario, so you should be good in communication, and you should be also good in teamwork. So your attitude also comes in, and in all the rounds, whether it's technical round or non-technical round, you will be observed with respect to your attitude, teamwork, and more importantly, you should not be master of everything. You should have mindset. You should be able to learn. You should be able to understand what you don't know, and you should be able to aware that this is wrong and this is right. And you should build up a roadmap or a plan to how to solve that particular problem. So that is very important. So this aptitude is very crucial, can make a difference between whether a candidate is selected or rejected. And yes, technical skills are important at more depth, but this fundamental attitude is also important.
Mhm. So, very rightly said, and all these tips are so useful when you are saying that even if you don't know few topics or few domains, it's equally
Yes.
important to show that okay, you are okay to learn and you have a growth mindset. So, to all the viewers, I would like to say that if you are appearing for an interview and if you don't know any question, then don't feel bad that you will be not selected in that. You can still show that okay, you don't know that, you will research and learn it, and how open you are for learning, and then you can just move forward with a positive approach. Perfect.
But I would like to add one more
Yeah.
thing here, which
Mm-hmm.
is also very important. First thing which you should know is the job description for the position you are applying. So you should have thoroughly went through the job description, because in a job description they will mention what are the skills, what are the required skills, and what are the good to have skills. So in required skills, you should demonstrate you have full awareness and knowledge and expertise and skill. And for non required skills or optional or no, some skills are not that important, uh, that will also be mentioned, because they will mention in the job description that this is good to have. So there it is okay to honestly share that this you don't know. So yeah, that's the difference. Means if you are getting hired for some, as a, for example, Python developer, and you don't know Python, then definitely no. Even if you accept that you don't know and if you are aware, it doesn't make sense. But so important thing is you should build up good skill set, so that you should be able to solve the problem which are asked in the interview in the core skills or in the required skills. You should have good speed, so that you can solve the problem within the time limit of the interview, because in an interview you may get 20 or 30 minutes maximum to solve a problem. So if your speed is not there, it is as good as not knowing the topic.
Mm-hmm.
Right, so these are some important things which I would also like to share.
Perfect. Now let's come to cracking technical interviews. Okay, so we all are aware when big giants hire, they just have rounds and rounds of technical interviews. So, what you feel, Tarun, like is the biggest myth you see in how people prepare these days for technical interviews? Any more insight you want to share on this?
Correct. So yeah, definitely now in these days, also in the previous era, also we had very tough bar for hiring in top giants. So people have to study a lot, because also it's true that in their professional career, they will not get the opportunity to learn the topics which are asked in the interview. So preparation for interview is very different, and no, performing in a job is totally different skill set. So both there is no overlap. So even if you are a very good performer in any company, if you are applying for interview, you have to prepare. So first thing is, no one can crack any interview without preparation, so it's hard to do. So I would suggest that first thing is you should prepare and give enough time, so that you feel confident about cracking the interview. Now, you can check how and prepared you are by just taking a mock interview. Maybe reach out to your colleagues, friends, or whoever you feel as a mentor, and just ask him to do a mock interview. If you have a friend who has worked in the company where you are applying, who is aware what kind of questions are asked, or some colleague who has recently given these interview, that is the best person who can guide you in preparing for the interview. So give a mock interview. So this is one myth which is sometimes blocking people, and this comes in the way of getting successful. Other myth is people worry too much about their background, their education, and they feel bad if they have not a degree in computer science, or they have a different background, or they don't have exact profile. No, means if they are not from IITs or some foreign university. If their university is not the top university, sometimes people feel that, okay, they will not get selected. So, which is also a big myth. What companies look for is your current skill. So, whether you are from non-computer science background or you are coming from service company, trying to move to product company, or no, if you are from not that great universities, or your grades are not very high, these things don't matter much for experienced professional. Definitely for freshers, sometimes this helps because it helps in shortlisting candidate. But for experienced, we should not worry about that. And so sometimes people don't prepare, or they go with a very less confidence in the interviews, uh, which is also coming in the way of many people. And this also lets them know not prepare in for these interviews and not upskills. So anyone, so in brief, in summary, what I will say is anyone who can acquire these skills, which I mentioned few minutes back, can crack interviews in big tech companies. And even in Google, Microsoft, Facebook, Meta, there are people who are coming from different backgrounds, non-computer science background, coming from mediocre universities, may not be having all great grades throughout. They are not the toppers, all kinds of people, but they have learned and acquired skills for which now they can solve complex problems which are there in real world faced by these companies.
Perfect. So I really like the first thing that some people think that, okay, if they are very professionally good in job, that doesn't mean they'll do nice in interviews. So this is a very nice point. I want everyone to focus, all the viewers to focus, that performing good in a job is very different from cracking the interviews. So preparation is important. Thank you so much for all these insights. So before we move to the next segment, I just want to ask one thing, Tarun, that these days when we make the CVs, okay, so CVs are your like first
Yes,
photo shot or the snapshot of your profile which a company sees. So what
yes,
kind of portfolios or project you think are up now and are very good to show in CVs, and what kind of projects and portfolios you think we should not show that much on the CV? Maybe later we can discuss when we are doing the interviews and face to face rounds, but what do you think about that?
yes. So first thing is you should identify what are the companies you are interested in applying. And you should have a list of companies. Always have CVs which are targeted for a particular job description and for a particular company. So assume if you are applying for Google, you should understand that what kinds of problem are encountered in Google. So Google works on search engine and solving large scale problems. For example, they have products like Google Cloud. They have products which is big products like Gmail, which are used by millions and sometimes billions of people, and they handle high volume of data. So they, for example, Google searches through the entire internet, and Gmail also processes so much of data for so many users in real time. So the problems where they can show that they will be able to solve large scale problems is important. So such projects, if they have worked on some online project, definitely you don't get that exposure to work in such big solutions, but you should understand that what it takes to build such solution. So you should be able to demonstrate that your solution can be scalable, and wherever you can showcase that. Generally, if you have an online product, cloud based product, understanding of cloud is important, and projects related to that is important. So whatever is the business logic, that does not matter much, but what matters is the performance, scalability, and various aspects which are required in solving problems in big companies, like maintainability, their ease of customizability, and ability to monitor your applications, whether it's up or down. So these are some of the non-functional requirements which matters more than the functional requirement, right? So this is another big mistake people do. They'll talk a lot about the functionality features and they feel proud about the features, and but these companies, they want their releases to be boring. They say that okay, their software should solve more of the technical problem than the functionality and feature problem, because in big companies you don't means they prefer less features because their product is already feature rich. What they prefer is solving problems and giving better experience with the existing features to their customers. So that is important aspect which they should highlight in their projects.
Perfect. So, all the viewers, like we have got some nice insights. If you are starting as a student and trying to crack a job, or if you are a working professional and trying to move up. Now, Tarun also do one-to-one mentorship for like all the technical things he's talking about and how to crack interviews and lot of intellectual assets as well, which we'll be exploring in the next section. So I would like to invite Ankita to take over the next segment, which is all about what are intellectual assets and questions related to that. Over to you, Ankita.
Hi. Hi, Tarun. Welcome again to New Era Bonds. So before going forward, I think we should check the comment section. Smita Borade has asked a question regarding importance of DSA for freshers and experience.
Okay.
So yeah,
Yes.
so if we
Data
can.
structures. Yes, data structures and algorithm, as I said, is very important. So if you're applying for software engineering position, it's a must. Even for ML position, AI ML position, it's a must because data structures are important for any kind of program. So yes, in big companies, Google, Microsoft, any big company, there are tens of such companies. Their first screening round will be on data structures. You will not move to the new rounds, later rounds, if you don't crack the data structures.
Data
So
structure.
you have to practice very thoroughly. I would say for freshers, 80% of their effort should go into preparing for data structures. And the other way around is also true. If you have cracked data structure round in any company, then almost 90% you are through with the interview. Because as a fresher, what is important for you is to be having good programming skill. And if you have good knowledge of data structure and you are able to solve problems in these companies, they ask tough problems. Tough in the sense they are not extremely tough, but they are medium range problem, and it requires thorough understanding of data structures. So if you are able to solve these problems, then there are 90% chance you will be through with the interview and you will get the job offer. So I would say that yes, for freshers, they should spend 80% plus time on preparing for data structure, and they should not apply in any company until unless they are very confident with data structures.
Okay. Thank you so much. So, Tarun, as I am a non-IT person, right? So, as a
Yes.
non-IT person, what I should understand, what is an intellectual asset
Okay. So
and why it
around
is important for me? I mean, assets are important, but why intellectual assets?
correct, correct. Yes, absolutely. So yeah, we were all throughout talking about learning, right? And best way to learn. So there are so many topics to learn. If I say data structures, in data structures, there are around 50 topics. right? If I start naming out, it's from arrays, linked list, queues. There are different kinds of linked list. And so many technical things are there. You have to remember and learn them all. And you should be able to showcase that you have these skills. Because first thing is, even before you appear in interview or DSA round, your resume should stand out. And when someone is looking into your resume, you should, when you are building your resume, you should build it in such a way that if a hiring manager is looking, he should remember your resume. Because if he is not able to remember your resume, and your resume looks like 10 other resume, then he may not call you for the interview, because he may not remember you, and there is no differentiation which is there in your resume. So if you have a blogging site, if you have done a GitHub project, or if you have any kind of extra work or project work which you can showcase, which is outside your academics, then this becomes a very good differentiator. So uh, you should understand, first thing is your resume or LinkedIn profile, they should target to only two people if you are a job seeker. First is the recruiter. So recruiter is a non-technical person. He will not be able to understand the depth of the technicalities which are mentioned in your LinkedIn profile, but he should get an impression. You should be able to get an impression that this person has done a thorough work. On the other hand, hiring manager sometimes will be technical person, but sometimes they are experienced people, so they may not be aware of the current technology. So that's the second person who will be shortlisting. So your recruiter is the gatekeeper, and the second most important person is the hiring manager. Both of them should be able to select, they should be able to shortlist your resume, and there should be good points which highlights them. So blogs, GitHub projects, or YouTube channel which are technical in nature, they should be highlighted, and this makes you stand out from rest of the crowd. So if you have some contribution, some articles, participation in conferences, or if you have spoken and given a session to some of the conferences, if you are an active member of developer community and you have presented some topics, these are the things which you should highlight, and they will help you uh, stand out. So this is one of the most important advantage of building assets.
Right. But in like for a common person like me, in
Yes,
Chat GPT and Google, everything is like instantly, available. So you
yes,
think still people are focusing on developing these like intellectual assets
yes, very
because
much.
everything is available. Like if I want some information, it is there. So what I think, why I should keep extra documentation or something or reusable knowledge while I'm getting it instantly every time.
Yes, right. So definitely you should understand that no, even ChatGPT or AI has evolved. They won't
Mm,
be able to solve a real world problem, right?
true.
So their solution is good enough, but not as thorough so that it can be readily used. So here, what is important is people should be able to provide value, and no problem can be solved by giving a single prompt, right? It's like driving a car. So if we have nowadays driverless cars also, but still people are scared about taking the driverless car, and definitely it will take time and a lot of effort to build such cars. So now we are in the stage where definitely we have all the knowledge available, but still getting the right solution. And ChatGPT or any AI solution cannot have 100% accuracy, right? So they also have problems, they give wrong information, and there should be a verification. So if someone is sharing a content based on authentic experience, then this is very valuable. People value, and this has market value as well. So that's why people still pay for writers. You also get there are so many tech bloggers. They are being paid by YouTube, and people go and look to real person and seek advice from real person, because AI cannot share experience, because AI is just a person, is a system which generates information based on some patterns, and it cannot apply, and it cannot uh, have no for example teamwork, what for example communication skills. All these things you have to build by yourself, and to acquire skills you need to also have practice. Correct. So practice is also important. In real world, we to survive, we need to have skills in such a level that if there is a customer calling, uh, that there is some breakdown in some systems are crashing, you won't have the time to uh, look into ChatGPT and ask for the solution. You should be able to instantly provide the solution to the customer, because in few minutes the customer will become crazy and may uh, sue you for business problems which he is facing. So we need very thorough expertise, and these values should come from real life situation, and sometimes the situations are things which have never happened before. So such problems GPT cannot solve. Yes, but definitely I would say fundamental concepts or very basic stuff, uh, that things are no, the value is reducing. Still, there is a value, because uh, you don't have to. ChatGPT also has a problem, or any AI model has another problem, that they are very verbose. So things which are said in few words, they may say this in multiple paragraphs, and right, sometimes understanding is also a problem. So there are so many disadvantage of ChatGPT that we can make a uh, complete podcast on that. That no, ChatGPT don't have emotions. So if I give you
Exactly.
a book written by ChatGPT or any model, whether it's Claude or Gemini, you will not be able to read it, right? Because
Okay.
you'll
Yeah.
feel bored. You'll get bored in one or two
Mhm.
pages itself. But if author has written a book, and it is 500-page book, you will enjoy reading till first page, from first page till 500th page. So this is totally wrong. That no, AI content will replace human content. It will also help human writers. For example, ideation, creating ideas, or generating prototypes. These things can be done well by artificial intelligence. So it can enhance human creativity, but it's not a replacement for human creativity or human skills or experience.
So, as the name suggests, it is an asset. So, an asset is something which helps you in future, right?
Yes.
So, you think
Yes.
these intellectual assets, this can, help us in future as an insurance. The job market is so unstable. If
Correct.
like we are not, or we might not be interested in working in same monotonous, profile all the time. So, in that
Yes.
case, we can have it as a backup plan or insurance, we can say.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. So if you have built some apps are still being
True.
sold, they can be monetized. Good content, right? For example, this podcast is very valuable, and these will be having relevance not just for few months, they will be relevant for many years to come. For example, data structure. This concept started in 1960s, is still relevant. So companies, even if they are using the latest technology, they still talk about data structures and algorithm. Uh, Same is with Java, Python. So it's more than 30 years. These programming languages have been in use. And now going forward, this will also be there. Definitely some minor changes will be there, but most of things will remain the same. So same applies in any non-technical area as well. So if someone is, people in IIMs, they still study books written. Their case studies are sometimes for businesses which are in 1800 or 19th century. They even study these kinds of businesses in case studies. So there is always life for these assets because it's like gold. And there other advantages when you are in job, you have to work to earn. So if you take leave after a certain number of days, maybe 20 leaves always everyone gets, but after 20 days you will be in leave without pay. But if you have a asset, for example a book, a Udemy course, then even if you are not working, it does not mean you don't have to work. You still might be updating it, but you don't have to be very much engaged. You sometimes have to answer queries or you have to update your content, but that's not a big effort. But it is passive income. So passive income is an income which with less effort. So it's a myth that requires zero effort, but with less effort you can get a lot of revenue so that to sustain yourself, right? So I would suggest that people should also build that and build it as per their knowledge, skill and passion, so that they can continue pursue it. And it's also long term. Like if you buy a gold today, you can't expect that tomorrow you will get good returns out of it. You have to take it, hold it for many years. Same way,
Correct.
if something is we have written a book or have a channel, it won't grow. Sometimes it grows, but most of the times it will take years to get popular, and we have to keep pursuing it. And if we are doing something which we are interested and we are having a passion about it, then definitely we will be able to continue. And then sooner or later we'll get the success. So the chances of success increases. Great. Nice. So that's about assets. And it's very important. So sometimes value comes from money,
Correct.
sometimes it comes from the personal branding, right? So that is also very important. And indirectly, I also have got earned a lot from all the intellectual assets which I have created. Many of the projects I get because I am author of a book, or I've done something which on its own might not have given that much of benefits, but it leads you to the next jump in your career, or it opens up more opportunities. So that is, will say that is more valuable. So just to explain this with an example, if we are doing some podcast, the other benefit which we get is networking. So networking may not give immediate results, but in long term, this will be very much valuable.
Beneficial. Correct. True. Yes. So that's really
Awesome.
awesome. Anything else, Kriti, we want to discuss?
Yeah, so can we have some practical examples of what kind of assets you have created and how it have helped you in your career, and also like how it's also helping you earning some money?
Yes, absolutely. So, giving example from my career, from very beginning, I was very much interested in writing blogs and articles. So I used to write them a lot, and this gave me recognition in the entire company because not many people at very beginner level used to write blogs, and people found it useful because it was making their life better. Some of their problems they were facing, they were finding solutions very easily in my blogs and articles. So these got popular as well. And in events like there are hackathons or some competitions where there were limited seats, I used to get the invitation very easily because of all these blogs and articles which I have written. So any conference, I used to get the uh, the information very fast, and people used to reach out to me that you please present here. We have this and this event. So this way, in assets, one asset also creates, it kinds of leads you to more opportunities. And then when I go to conference, then there are more people I'm interacting with, more learnings I'm doing, and this multiplies over time. And this way, I was able to build, very good rapport in the organization. And some of the very strategic project in my organization was seeing my technical capability through the blogs and through various events I participated. I got some of the very strategic engagement in my organization. And in my initial career, I also got opportunity to go abroad, work there, live there, and this gave me good exposure and experience, which has helped me throughout. And so that I continued, and then I also kind of improvising on it, keep improvising. So for example, now with these blogs, I created a course in Udemy. I created ebooks, and then I created a physical book or hard copy books as well. And then using these books, I was able to also share my expertise, and also got consulting opportunities. And then with consulting opportunity, I got access to a lot of customers. I see their problems, and I can come up with innovative solutions. So I built up many innovative solutions because of these engagements with various companies as consultant. So you see here that, okay, if I am writing a blog, now finally it translates to a very good solution, which is solving technical problems. So, this helps a lot. Building assets opens up lot of paths for further success. Even if you want to build something great, cloud-based product, it starts from a small thing only.
Mhm. Rightly said. So one practical problem what we are facing as IT professionals sometimes is like our work schedules are so busy. Okay, every company encourages us to do something extra like white papers, blogs, and extra projects. But how to balance it like with actual work? Because majority of the workforce is having this problem that we don't get time to skill up the learning with the job. And what strategies should company apply and employees can apply, because changing strategies at company level becomes very difficult. Workload is so high. So what do
Yeah.
you suggest everyone that whoever are in jobs, how they can do with their jobs, so those assets are assets for their companies as well and for themselves as well?
Yes. Absolutely. So first thing is, you should be able to understand how much effort it takes, set realistic goals for it. And if you're not able to do it, discuss with your manager that you want to do it. If it is in sync with the company's goal, then definitely you will get the help. You can expect help. And based on whatever flexibility you will get. For example, in initial days, my manager gave me 10% of time. No, that okay, you can use this to uh, do something which is related to innovation. But yeah, that also means that you have some expectation as well. So definitely when you ask for these flexibilities, you will have to show the results as well. So in that particular 10% time, I was very much aware that I have to show results, and then I kind of file patents so that I can kind of share the result of my innovative activities. So you have to also be really cautious about these things. Now, once you know that, okay, this is what I want to do, you should set the goal and work on it, and in small chunks as well. Because any big task, you can break it up into small subtask. So this is what I do, and set goals, which could be weekly goals. Say, for example, if your goal is to learn data structure, definitely you can't take leave for maybe 10 days or 15 days and learn every aspect of data structure. Because to learn everything, maybe you may need 2 months or 1 month, depending on how much background you have. So that is not possible with work, but then definitely you have to break it out. So you can plan, like, I will study 5 hours a week. Now mark your calendar, 5 hours in your calendar, that this time I will use for studying data structure. So this way you will be able to achieve your goal. So having some tool, for example, Google Calendar or your Outlook calendar helps. And this way you can set up your goal. But you have to be also disciplined enough, because a lot of times it will happen that because of some urgent situation, it could be personal or professional, you are not able to devote that time which you have blocked. But in that case, you should not just ignore it. You should move that 1 hour blockage of your time slot to some other day, some other time. And over a week, you should ensure that you have spent 5 hours. And if maybe towards the end you don't see that happening, then put that effort in some weekend or some holidays so that you should cover up. But yeah, so this is one way how I kind of take care that all the goals which I set are reached, and I do not lose track of these, and which can end up no, I'm not able to proceed on these activities.
Yeah, because in today's world, or you can say new era, what people are doing is like they are finding it
Yes.
difficult. But as you said, that if you have a wish and a will to do that, company will support you, managers will support you, but it has to help company in some way. The topic and the research area
Yes.
you have to choose should be such that it helps your company grow. Very well said. So, one last question from my side I'll be taking up is like in today's new era, if you want to suggest a person to spend time in all these assets, because in every appraisal cycles as well, in each and every company, these assets are
Yes.
now valued, they have a lot of weightage as well. So, what you would suggest in today's world, like a product, like an app or something, a book, a course, or blogs? So, how people can
Correct.
choose
So
from these all options?
yes. So again, it will depend on what's the interest of person, what's the expertise of person. So there's no one single answer which will be suitable for everyone, but they should see that where I can contribute the best. So if you are good at writing, you want to build a blog, you can do blogging. That could be good starting point. If you feel you should feel confident that you should be able to write, because I engaged with so many people as co-authors, but not everyone was able to write book, because it's a big project. And if you're falling behind and not covering up, over a few months you will see that no, so much time has passed and there's no progress, and this demotivates you. So based on your interest, you should pick something. If you enjoy creating videos, you can create courses. If you want to showcase some demos, you can create a demo recording. or documentation. So again, depending on what is easy for you, because your what's your strength, we should understand. And then slowly and gradually we can upskill also ourselves, because initially when I used to write article, I used to spend sometimes a week to write an article, but over a period of time I have improved my speed and I can do it in now sometimes in half a day also. So as you proceed with these activities, you become more productive on these. But yes, I would say you start with whatever you like, but start with some small stuff so that you can validate that whether it's creating good value, right? So something for which you have to spend less than a month, that would be ideal thing. Because if I want to write a complete 500-page book and I'm not sure, then definitely I will have to first break it up into small chapters and then see if these chapters are coming up well, and then take up that book assignment. So same thing you can also take up in your planning activity. Do something which there are higher chances of success, and no, because if you will get success, then you will continue it. And if there are failures, then sometimes you may get demotivated. But yes, you should also understand that not everything will work and bring a lot of results. You have to keep trying. And if you are learning and if you are encouraged, getting encouragement in proceeding with that, then sooner or later you will succeed.
Rightly said. So, Ankita, any other questions from your side?
Yeah,
Anything
rightly
you want to add?
said, because in intellectual asset, as the name suggests, it's related to our thoughts, and every person is having a different thought. So we never know what clicks. So I really liked it that keep doing what you like to do, and keep doing
Yes,
what interests you. At least start with that, and
yes,
don't stop till something, at least something clicks.
yes. So I would like to also give one clarification here. So intellectual property is not just the thought. It
Yeah,
is your property also. It is a real asset. Because when I
true.
write a blog or write an article, automatically I get a copyright claim. So whoever is going to create that, he has to acknowledge me, because otherwise systems will figure it out that no, this is not the original work. So
Right.
whatever way, whatever things which you are doing, maybe if you are using some tool, you can document that, and then this becomes your style of doing. This is the intellectual property, and this is the biggest benefit,
Mhm.
right? Because the same thought can come in many person's
Mhm.
mind, but the first person who
Applies it.
documents that thought
Mhm.
owns that, right?
Mhm.
So that
Exactly.
is the biggest advantage of it.
True.
So that's why companies, they file patents, they file copyrights, they have trademarks, and these are valued more, that based on their brands they sometimes get loans, and it's an asset for them. Right? People invest in these companies which are having good brand value, have good patents, copyrights. So it is real asset.
Mhm.
Awesome. So hope this clarifies, and you got all the right roadmap to
Yes.
how to get into good company, and then also how to succeed in any company, in any environment, wherever you are, and be successful in your life in whatever situation it comes.
True.
Mhm. Thank you so much, Tarun. Well, to all the viewers, I would like to say that if you have any questions, if you have watched the live or you are watching the recorded thing when we'll be posting the live on our channel, you can ask any questions, you can share your feedback, share your experience. We'll share that with Tarun. And you will also observe that we have already done one panel discussion with him. So in that panel discussion, we touched the topic, like we just we have put up our opinions on the 70 hours a week or a 90 hours week statement, which was published by some Indian founders. So you can also watch our that video. That's a panel discussion with 3 and 4 people. So we'll be doing more and more podcast with him. If you want any podcast on any specific topic with Tarun, do let us know. And also let us know like how you felt about our first live podcast. So it's not a recorded podcast. This was our first live podcast. I enjoyed a lot. And thank you so much, Tarun, for all the insights. I still feel that each question was a huge question, and we can have like lot more discussions which we can plan in future. But
Yeah,
thank you so
true.
much.
Thank you so much.
Great,
Thank you, Tarun.
great, awesome. So I will be there in the